Welcome back to Stock Talk. Sarah is once again going viral after she had a spicy moment on a Jubilee gangbang. Oops, I mean debate. So I'm going to watch and respond to Sarah's short but sweet viral moment from the debate. Let's go. For context, the debate prompt is, quote, anti-LGBTQ plus policies are anti-Christian and anti-American. Damn, it looked like there was about to be a physical altercation for that chair.
So I'm assuming from everything you're telling me that you think that God is okay with you practicing sodomy with other men.
I am saying that God always acts in accordance with love, and the sodomy that was written about in the Bible has nothing to do with loving queer and trans relationships because there was no frame of reference for the phrases who created it. Man is imperfect. God's word is perfect. God would support queer and trans existence. Do you want to talk about why it's also anti-American?
You don't think that sodomy existed 2,000 years ago?
Okay, so here is a technicality I think is crucial. Sarah is specifically talking about sodomy is a specific act. However, not all gay men engage in sodomy. So if her only contention is sodomy is bad because it's unhealthy or unnatural and destructive to the body, would she then have no issue with a gay couple who doesn't engage in the act?
I do think it existed 2,000 years
don't
ago.
think that God
And the way that it
directly
was written
addressed
about in the Bible was about hateful, unconsensual, pedophilic, ritualistic acts of sodomy. There have been healthy queer and trans relationships all throughout the history, and they were not included in the Bible, the same way women's rights were not included in the Bible. God did not intend us to treat that like a law that we never move on from. He entreated us to use it like a way to learn, love, and practice it better. It is not an instruction manual. It is one tool that we can use to live our lives.
You do think, but to clarify, so you do think that God is okay with you having sex with other men?
Actually, the Bible never specifically or directly talks about sodomy. Rather, the Bible refers to homosexuality in Leviticus 18:22. Quote, "You shall not lie with a male as lying with a woman. It is an abomination." So technically, the Bible never says anything about sodomy.
Yes.
Okay. So I think that your definition of love is basically what feels good for you and also being nice to other people.
I think love is more complicated than that. For example, you can have a sexual relationship with someone that you might not love, whereas love is a deeper emotion of care.
But basically it's just like this like fluffy feeling of like, oh, like I like you, I'm treating you well, whatever. I think that love is willing the good of another person.
Love is a hard action.
You can have...
I agree with Sarah that love is wanting another person to thrive and prosper and be happy, and to will that love unconditionally. However, genuine romantic partnership is often part and parcel with that. If a gay man can only truly be complete and happy in a gay relationship, then as a Christian who claims to love all people, you should support healthy gay relationships.
Consensual sex with someone, and that's not loving them, because participating in homosexual acts is inherently not loving because it's damaging.
They're not inherently damaging.
It violates
They're not
natural
inherently damaging.
law.
It doesn't violate natural law. There are over one...
Natural law? If there's natural law, is there a natural court and natural judges and lawyers? Because last time I checked, there are plenty examples of homosexual acts in nature. Again, I think it's important to mention that not all gay men engage in sodomy. I can see why Sarah is hyper-focusing on that feature of male on male, shall we say hanky-panky. But an easy counter would be not all gay men do butt stuff.
Thousand species that are proven to have queer relationships.
God literally designed
Why does the G-spot exist?
I don't know. God literally designed male and female bodies.
Let's not pretend to know God's...
Damn, Sarah is getting upset. Look at that frustration in her face. She mad.
Vision, then.
How about this?
Let's not pretend to know God's vision.
How come 12% of men who have sex with other men 1 or more times a week have problems where they are not able to control their bowel movements?
Because when...
Well, why?
Ooh, Sarah stumped him on that one.
If it's healthy, if it's perfectly healthy. And you know that's true.
So there are medical facts that refute...
That doesn't mean that I hate you. It means I don't want you doing something that's not natural and it's not healthy and it's not good for you or for society.
You're saying
There's
is
a reason
grounded
gay
in
men
Christ's
can't
word
reproduce
or medical
with each other.
reality.
There's a reason why gay women can't reproduce with each other. Our
Reproduction
bodies
is not an essential factor of love and care. It is not the essential factor of a relationship. And the things that you're saying are nasty, evil pieces of rhetoric that aren't grounded in science.
That's absolutely not evil. You don't think it's scientific that it's more harmful to have gay sex than straight sex?
It's not more harmful.
It obviously is. That's why there's more STD rates.
Okay, that's time.
Listen, using the Bible against Christians to debunk their interpretations is a losing battle. The Bible is a convoluted document that's basically a spiritual and political Rorschach test. People read the Bible and absorb what they want and discard the rest. Or more accurately, people hear Bible quotes and never bother to read the whole thing. Another important point is that the Old Testament and New Testament of the Bible are incompatible. A Christian doesn't care about the covenant between God and the Hebrews and all the weird rules they have, like keeping the Sabbath or not eating shellfish or pork. Rather, they are Christian, concerns themselves with the life and times and teachings of Jesus. The character of Jesus sought to reform Judaism and simplify it, or in other words, he retconned Old Testament God, which is why redemption and transformation are core tenets of his ministry. And Jesus never mentioned anything about homosexuals, so Christians have no grounds whatsoever to condemn gay relationships. And you know what else Christians can't condemn? The Brittany Venti Fan-Comic.
Look what we have here.
I just released the newest dubbed chapter on YouTube.
Wake up, people! Hentai has stolen your dreams.
Brittany stages a protest against hentai, but she earns the ire of a corporate zombie bozos. What are you all doing by the window? Sit down so we can go over the earnings report.
It's that Brittany girl. She's spreading hatred. Hatred for hentai.
Why hasn't she been canceled? Who hires an assassin to cancel Brittany?
Diesler? The shape-shifting assassin?
Yes, indeed. How is Brittany gonna get out of this one?
Ow. Fuck.
It's an edgy satire with tons of Brittany Venti references and some other familiar faces.
Deplatforming her is 200% ethical.
And you can read all the chapters right here.
That's it, you're banned from this traffic light.